The single player / one player podcast is filmed by nobody. It's just me sitting in front of a computer while I look up things on the internet to ramble about. That was unnecessary long. Is PM back here somewhere? No? No? Alright. I have been called bad before. Many have said I do things that are not correct to do. I do not believe in such talk as this. I am nice man with happy feelings all of the time. First, a joke. What is Whitebeard's favorite anime? Yeah, I can't believe I got 10 of these under my belt either. In surprisingly quick fashion, mostly because KZX dropped the ball. 3 weeks in a row. Get good. KZ excellent. More like KZ Bakalent. That sucked. I'm just going to move on now. I got a lot to talk about for the WWE stuff, so I'm going to skip I don't have snacking or anything, so I'm going to skip that. My summary for what I've been playing, still that blind LP, still if you've seen my channel, but for those that don't know, Battle Princess of Arcadias, Roppongi software meets Vanillaware style action and that sort of thing. So I'm like, it's pretty good. I get it on sale for like $12. So I'm like, I just forgot about that game for a little while. I was like, oh, this looks cool, and I was like, $20-$25 and all this GB, because I was, of course, playing the hell out of the Warriors games at the time, so I didn't think I had the room for that. I'm like, all right, well, let me get this quickly as possible, then I can get my 10. I think Samurai Warriors 4 was the worst. That was like 12 gigs. Thank God I got that back. The weird thing though with that, I played the PS3 Marvel, and it tells me it's like one of those old save menus, I think, like before or something like that. Maybe it's just like, because it's an older game that doesn't have the trophies, but the save menu actually tells me how many free space of gigabytes I have. So I was like, cool, why don't they do this anymore? I'm like, I didn't know I had that much space. I'm like, okay, I could have gotten that. I'm like, And then by that time I was like 2 into the LP, and then I just didn't remember it. And I'm just looking back, I'm like, oh, this game, I remember this. Oh wow, it's like half off. They had a sale. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pick this up and I'll pay it. So, but yeah, mostly that. Been doing Kingdom Hearts as well. I'm still doing that. I got to the final area. Now it's just all the beat all these bosses, get all the synthesis items, all that stuff. I got max level, all that stuff. Get as much trophies out of that as I can. But yeah, not too much in that. Mostly because I've been kind of. It is the season to be allergy prone because the fucking pollen everywhere. And the only rain we've had was like on Saturday, and that was like nothing. That was like gone in 2-3 minutes. Like it downpoured, and then it was like, that's it. We were supposed to get like a big thunderstorm over here. Nothing came of that. I don't have much for the scoping for Anoa because again, I wasn't that. Kind of R&R mostly this week. That's why the uploads are like a little scattered around. I'm going to try and really... That's why I'm really busting my ass this week to try and get some more up if I can. Whatever happens, happens. Again, that's the thing with blind LPs too, because I'm noticing not that many people are... I get around maybe 10, 20 people, 20 views or something like that for new videos. That's even what you call it, like right now. It might take some time, but that's kind of the thing with like newer, blinder LPs of games they haven't seen before. They'll either watch it with you or they'll be like, huh, this game looks awesome. I should get this. So I can take that at least. I'll be like, okay, well, more people know about this game and will be willing to play it. You know, I'll take that over views any day. Like, you know, what is it? Spreading that information. Like, you know, more people are, you know, spreading awareness. That's what it is. Yeah, awareness of it, that this game is a thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, it's cool that people are playing it. I hope a lot of people play it because it looks like really, really interesting. I'm loving it a lot so far. I want to get back in on it. I didn't want to grind. Like, I want to keep playing it, but I got to get the recording in, and it's just like feeling really. Ugh. My throat got really, really bad. I wasn't feeling 100% to record that much this week, but what you got is what you got. I threw that out in maybe like a day or two. What you saw, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna space this out. I was about to get into scoping for Noah. Not really too much with that, but I just remembered watching from time to time someone's Tales of Xillia playthrough. A YouTuber by the name of Super Seasona. And I'm saying that, if I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize once again. But yeah, it might be Super Seasona 17 or something like that. Either like, I don't know if that's like your Twitter or YouTube or whatever, but I'll put that in what you call it. Well, in the description below, because I was gonna say annotations, but I think, and I stumbled upon this during my LP, and I think that's mostly the reason why Patreon exists. Because if my dumbass figured out how to get, I have Google Ad Blocker, like, okay, everybody in the fucking world. That's the same thing with LPing. It's like, okay, if my bumpkin dumbass can figure that out, like, you know, whatever. I do remember putting some in, and I did check like another computer. Like, I went over to my folks and I was like, let me see something. I'm gonna check my YouTube real quick, and I'll be like, okay, there's the annotations. That's what I put in. But I'm like, I feel like everybody's using the ad blocker now, like on Google, because, you know, Google and YouTube are hand in hand now. I'm like, well, if they have all that, they're not going to be able to see the annotations that I put in. So, well, I put them in. So, yeah. End of an era, you guys. Annotation son. I'm sorry. Best of luck in your future endeavors. And this is just after me and Positioning, you know, got back together that one Legends video. Like, not really like got back together, but like, you know, we're like simpatico again. We're like, oh, okay, it saved the day because there's that one glitch where I was like, oh fuck, I may not be able to complete this game now. Like, are you shitting me? And I'm like, let me see if I can. And then I fucked around with that door, and I'm like, oh, I can hit the machine from the other side. I'm like, yes, the playthrough is saved. Positioning. Like, I didn't want to do the reunited, and if, yeah, I had that idea. I'm like, no, let's, yeah, we were friends now. We're like, okay, you know, it's come back. Like, we're like, oh, yeah, I didn't even want to make it like, you know what I mean? It's just, or maybe you don't, because I don't know anymore. 10 of these, I still can't figure out what the fuck to say half the time. Of course, my handicap. Actually, a couple things for the scoping thing I forgot, because I have it up here in the windows. Couple things. Especially this one, because this is fucking awesome to know that this exists now. Community Effort Orlando. One of the uniquely themed major fighting game tournaments around, you know. You have your finalists compete in an actual wrestling ring and awarding a beautiful championship belt to first place winners. Tournament organizer Alex Jabali took it a step further this year by teaming up with Atlas and creating this replica of the actual Teddy Championship belt, as you can see on the cover of Ultimax, with the CEO and Atlas all over that. There's a CEO logo. I don't know if you can see if you look at that, but wow. For the Ultimax finalists, I'm like, wow. I wish I played that game more, because that belt looks... Can I call up the Intercontinental Championship? The Intercontinental... I can't even say that right now. Maybe not. Work in progress. But yeah, nice. Looking forward to that. Man. When did they say it was? June 26th through the 28th, Orlando, Florida. They're also going to include Ultra Street Fighter 4, Ultimate MVC 3, that game that never dies. Speaking of which, they're still doing fucking Melee. They're doing with the Wii U Smash too, but yeah. MK10, Guilty Gear Xrd, Tekken Tag 2, Killer Instinct, Dive Kick. Yeah, so the 26th to the 28th for that, you know, break out your fight sticks. Like, who will eat and who will be eaten? Oh, looks so fucking cool! God damn it! Yeah, super hype about that. I don't know if I might forget and I might do other shit during the weekend. They put stuff like that on Twitch. I tend to take a look from time to time, but man, I just remembered like looking it up and I'm like, wait, they made an actual belt? Like, yo, that's sick as hell. Like, look at that shit. Good job, guys. Sheamus inspired Jack 7 for the new Tekken. I guess he is in this after all. We thought the guy that looked revealed to be Gigas was gonna be the new Jack, but no, it's just, hey, he's here. And he's got red hair and green shit all over him, so yeah. Design looks the same, which is meh. They just changed his, he's got the Sheamus mohawk now. Beep boop fella. Are you not entertained, beep boop? Your size is not well suited to me parameters, fella, beep boop. So I don't know. That game I platinumed the shit out of in like a day or two. That's getting a sequel. Under Night in Birth EXE late. And in them little blocky parentheses or whatever they're called, stands 2 letters ST. So it's so now I guess it's like Under Night in Birth EXE latest. I see what you did there. It's gonna, the console people, Byakuya and I forget the other one. Nanase? Was it? But yeah, they were the console exclusive characters. They're being brought in for this arcade one. New character named Phonon. She's got like a little whip sword kind of thing going on. There's a picture right here. Looks like a Creed waifu material. Fucking them fucking thigh highs, the stripes, man, the heels. Goddamn. Although she's pretty cool though. She does look kind of cool. No announcements made for a console version just yet, but I don't know if they're bringing in the guest stars. I don't know if that was in the arcade or not. I don't know. Like the main character from Akatsuki and Sion from Melty Blood. I don't know if they're bringing them in the arcade or not. If they did or before or not, I don't know. But anyway, let me get to the crux of the things. Let me change it to change pictures over here. You get mildly smug Seth Rollins over here for the ladies. All 1% of you, according to my little YouTube pie chart. I just mostly bank on guys that are into Seth Rollins. It's like, oh, oddly smug. Raw begins with the return of the COO Triple H. He says, "Daddy's home." And I say that usually when I come home to my kids after a long trip, and when I say that, they behave better. So now I'm back here to ensure that Kane and Rollins get on the same page, so you two get out here right now. Rollins is the first to come out and congratulates Triple H on coming back. He says, Kane's either doing what he's doing because he's not the man, and he never will be the man like I am right now. He's an old dog, so maybe it's time to take him out back and put him out of his misery. Kane gets into a shout match with him after he comes out, and Triple H is like, I get it, Rollins can be kind of annoying, but he's got the gold, and we need to do what's best for business. You need to be on the same page, and to ensure that, if Seth doesn't leave Payback as champion, maybe we wish you the best in your future endeavors, Kane. And as far as ensuring it tonight goes, Kane's going to go one-on-one against Reigns, Rollins going to go one-on-one against Randy Orton. And for some insane reason, Noble decides to mouth off to Triple H because of this. It's like, it's because you and Kane is in the first place, blah, blah, blah. So he gets down to their level, literally, and makes it so him and Mercury got to fight Dean Ambrose next. They do have that 2-on-1 advantage over Ambrose for a while. Great tandem offense. We're going to see a lot of that later on in this pay-per-view and Raw and SmackDown as well, mostly. Well, I'll get to that. Not really the one-sided affair I thought this was going to be, but yeah, Ambrose wins in the end. That was it got a little longer than I thought it was. It wasn't going to be like a 90-second just squash. So. Sheamus in a hat. So noticeably less mohawky on commentary as Ziggler faces off against Bad News Barrett. Barrett's like, a common friend of yours tried to rise up and challenge the king, a peasant by the name of Neville. Gravity has not forgotten him. In fact, Neville gets reacquainted with Gravity at Payback. Tonight I steal a page from Sheamus, and you go from being a common show-off to a royal arse kisser. And while he's mouthing off, boom! Super kick, and Ziggler almost gets a 3 off that one. After the commercial, Barrett hits the bull hammer as Sheamus distracts Ziggler. Sheamus enters the ring after the match and works Ziggler's over. So by now he has the hat off, so he looks like he just has a really bad case of male pattern baldness. Sheamus. You know you can make that shit. Come on, like the Daniel Bryan chia pet or the Luke Harper chia pet. Like, come on, WWE. I can't be the only one that's thought of this. Step up your game. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are a team again, as Eric Rowan beats Fandango in one-on-one action. So much for his theme music. They're both coming out to Luke Harper's again. Swamp Gas. JBL says it ended at about 35 to 37 seconds. Yeah. Commentary is taking fucking bets on how fast he'd get beat by Rowan. Classy! The John Cena White Boy Challenge is answered by Neville. United States title! That's what I should have called it. There we go. Alright. I made it work. Sorry. Just going back to that. That's so cool. Ground game of Cena versus the aerial offense of Neville. Gravity didn't forget Cena's masturbation move and kicks out of a second rope corkscrew from Neville. Neville lands from an AA attempt and gets another near fall. Tries to pull Cena towards the corner for his red arrow. But Cena locks in his submission. And Neville has to roll Cena over for 2. Eats a clothesline and later ends up kicking out of another AA. And Neville shows he's got some power of his own. He powerbombs Cena off the top rope. Goes for his finish and lands it and is about to win the match, but Rusev attacks, causing the DQ. So, Neville looking very strong here. He drops Cena as Michael Cole flubs and calls the main event WWE Payperback. Payperback writer. Oh, stop it. Reigns and Kane have to follow that, though. Someone drew the fucking short straw on that one. They must have. Kane's got some savvy, at least, by attacking Reigns before he gets over the barricade. Like he's climbing over Kane's just immediately on it. I could just see Rollins with his security backstage yelling at J&J like, why didn't we think of that? Fuck. Asshole's been making my life miserable for months. We never thought to jump him? This match doesn't even get started. Kane's just setting up the announce table for someone to go through. Fights back and gets sent to the steps, but Reigns leaps over them. And then goes for the Superman punch and gets goozled by Kane. Fights out of that and hits another one and spears Kane onto the table. No break. Brie Mode versus Tamina Snuka. Naomi's wearing a t-shirt with the word nope on it. Dig it, Daniel Bryan, maybe? It's his wife who she's fighting. Tamina wins after blocking the knee, shoves her down, and super kicks the fuck out of her. Axel Mania versus Macho Mandow. He's no Jay Lethal, but yeah. This is the thing. They somehow put aside their differences, mostly because the Ascension come out to verbally shit on these guys. The minor powers, or I think the meta powers, I think Raven Siren or somebody called them on Twitter. I was calling them the minor powers. They run off the Ascension as they do the mega powers handshake. And somehow Curtis Axel gets over with this. I think I've lost the right to say anything bad about this now, just based on that revelation alone. 2 scoops of Daniel Bryan. How long have you guys treated me like I'm special, more than any of the other guys in the back? He says this. As crushing as it was almost a year ago when Stephanie McMahon had me relinquish the Undisputed title, as hard as that was, she was right to do that. I didn't know how long I'd be out. They don't know how long I'll be out now after the MRI I just took. Could be weeks, months. I may never wrestle again. Despite that uncertainty, it makes me know for a fact what needs to be done with the IC title. You guys deserve superstars fighting for this championship. It shouldn't be sitting on a physical therapist's desk. It should be in the ring. And that's where I'm leaving it. So, I relinquish the Intercontinental title. Hopefully this means, he rethinks shit. He gets that surgery like he didn't want to get last time, and, maybe, rethinks everything. It ends up something really, really horrific happens to the guy. Rehab, rethink, reinvent is what I said on Twitter. And the New Day immediately comes out after this. It's like, rejoice! Daniel Bryan's gone. It's a new day. We're all about giving second chances, except for Pete Rose. Now what about Cesaro and Kidd? Now they failed, but the New Day is giving them a rematch for the belts in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Power versus Power is Cesaro versus Big E in 1-on-1. Cesaro goes for the swing as Cole can't tell Kofi and Xavier Woods apart. Kidd knocks Kofi aside. Xavier Woods retaliates, but in the end Cesaro wins with a surprise roll-up. As we get a commercial for a network exclusive pay-per-view. Yeah. May 31st, the Elimination Chamber returns. It's like less than 2 weeks from now. I'm like, oh man. I'm going to have to get the network now. I mean, I've been skeptical on getting it before. I'm just like, because you get streams all the time. It's like you're streaming a whatchamacallit. It's like very big streams get a lot of people. They end up with a lot of traffic. So I don't know how well that's going to hold. I prefer doing it on pay-per-view like that. So to see it like that, I'm like, yeah, it just makes me a little uneasy, is all. The Primetime Players channeling one of the greatest tag teams in the WWE, the New Age Outlaws. Mr. No Days Off Darren Young, the real deal Titus O'Neil, and if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Millions of dollars, millions of dollars. Bray Wyatt goes on how he feels sorry for us, and that fears engulf this world. Need proof? Open a newspaper and turn on the news. Fear of a crumbling economy or a dying earth, you adopted the man's ideals, that if you work hard enough, you just get to overcome all that. Ryback is an inspiration. He shatters his ankle. Doctors tell him, you can't wrestle anymore. But Ryback fights through his injury, overcomes the odds. He's beaten the odds, but he's seen nothing like the new face of fear. I'm sure Ryback's asking himself, why me? The answer is, he's in my way. Here's something your parents won't tell you. The nightmares don't end, and sometimes the bad guy wins. And I'll +1 your comment if you can get that reference. The pick helps. We'll see. Main event time as Randy Orton keeps kicking Seth in the dick. He keeps kicking me in my dick. Rollins uses what he can to put him away early so Seth is fresh as a daisy for payback. Seth starts to mock Orton for the SKO, who fights that off and gets the DDT instead. He's about to go for the real RKO as J&J run out and assault Orton for the DQ finish. Kane comes out. Moment of truth time as he picks up a steel chair and stays on the outside as Orton gets mugged 3-on-1. Reigns and Ambrose clears out the security and evens the odds as Kane continues to stand there, pretty much leaving Rollins for dead. He gets dirty dudes, speared, and RKO'd. Orton turns around to get speared himself as Rollins hits dirty dudes on his brother Reigns. Hometown hero Ambrose standing tall for the 2nd week in a row. It was here where we were like, someone's going to get pinned. On to Smackdown with Bray Wyatt and his smoke machine. Backstage talking to Ryback. Monday you stood toe-to-toe with Fleet and won. But you got an Achilles heel to expose, and I'll make an example of you. Tonight you'll scratch an itch, but only end up with festering wounds. Dean Ambrose talks next in the ring, saying, I work best alone, I fight alone, I drink alone. Felt pretty good on Monday standing alone in that ring, because that's where I'll be on Sunday. Every man for himself. That chicken weasel troll and his lollipop guild squad, Randy Orton and Roman Reigns. Didn't plan on hitting rings with dirty dudes, but it just, these things sort of happen. And I got something to say to him before Sunday, which is Roman's cue to walk through the crowd. He says, you know you're not getting an apology. Roman's like, wasn't looking for one. You hit me with dirty dudes. One time. Because that's all you're getting. King comes out, it's like, yeah. You should be less concerned with winning a Slammy for Bromance of the Year. I don't know if that's a thing. And more importantly, more concerned, rather, with the pay-per-view. Be concerned you even make it. Because, Ambrose, you're going to fight Sheamus right now? Ambrose says interrupts. He's like, now? Yo, once again being super savvy like he was last week on SmackDown. At some point, this match ends up on the outside as Sheamus throws Ambrose into the ring under the bottom rope, but Ambrose does that 180, spins back with that clothesline that he does. Yeah, he's giving him finding new ways to do that move of his, where he like bounces off the ropes and just boom, surprise clothesline. I also want that to stay a thing with that and the super savviness of Ambrose, because it's the kind of crazy that's so crazy it just might work. You know what I mean? That old chestnut. Sheamus tries to fucking lawn dart Ambrose from atop the ring post, but Ambrose just crotches him on the ropes and rolls him up for the win. Rollins backstage asking Kane if you're still considering whether or not to help him win. He tells him to consider the money you make as director of operations. Kane's like, I've been thrifty. 20 years in this business. Yeah, I think I'd be pretty set for life too. Yeah, he mentions it. Seth Rollins is like, good luck in your match against Roman Reigns. And Kane's like, thank you. Good luck in your match against Ryback tonight. Rusev Machka. Lana's got a booklet in her hands, looking down to it. Almost like reading a prepared speech for Lana. It's like that segment, that they do sometimes. It's like, last week on Raw, I betrayed my country by indulging and allowing false ideologies of America to taint our Russian traditions. I beg for forgiveness from Russia, and most importantly, Rusev. And Rusev like waves her off to the corner and says, I showed you, Cena, why you'll lose at Payback. You lacked focus. When I had you in that accolade in your mind, you were saying I quit. And smiles as he plays John Cena. It's like one of those pre-US title matches speech on the loop, so you get John Cena saying, I quit, I quit, I quit, I quit. I don't know why he sounded southern there. He's from Boston. John Cena, Michael! Renee Young backstage with Ryback asking if he can focus on Rollins, knowing he's got Bray Wyatt this Sunday. He's like, this is me going up against the world champ. It'd give me an opportunity of a lifetime if I were to beat him tonight. I don't take anything for granted. Bray Wyatt, I get that. I look like a meathead, but I'm no dummy. I made him eat a meat hook clothesline and saw fear in his eyes. This happened last week. Monday, rather. I forgot to mention that. I pick up where I left off at Payback. Tonight against Rollins, I'm feeling hungry. More talking. Rollins mic in hand, showing what happened on Monday. Says, in Fatal 4-Way matches, I ain't getting jumped by multiple guys. Ambrose, Orton's, Reigns, they're just as cutthroat as I am, and I'll be there to pick up the pieces with my security, my athleticism, mental acumen, and the director of operations. I'm going to pick up the pieces. He gets interrupted by Ryback as he's about to talk about him. Heading down to the ring, Bray Wyatt just bulldozes him from the sides. And back from commercial, Ryback's telling the official to ring the bell. He wants to continue the match, and they put on a pretty good show. Ryback tries to outpower Rollins, but it's clear he's not 100%. He's just driven into that barricade at full, a fucking rampaging Bray Wyatt, just full speed, just bam! He just flies for that barricade, just sends him out flying. Match ends as Ryback goes for the shell shock, but Jamie Noble gets on the ropes to distract the ref so Seth can rake the eyes and hits the knee from the top rope and hits a boot to the face not once but twice just to be sure and pins him. Like he gets that boot to the face where the guy's like on his knees and he's like standing up. It's like a kind of a super kick kind of thing, but like invert like from the back or something like that. If you've seen it, I can't explain it, but if you've seen it, you know. Axelmania and Macho Mandow versus the Ascension for the Payback pre-show. That was announced. Renee's now backstage with Naomi and Tamina, who's going to face the Bellas in a tag match on Payback. Naomi says, Tamina and I are tired of being overlooked. I'm the best athlete in the Divas division. She's a powerhouse. We've still been given nothing? We're sick of walking around empty-handed. If no one's giving us opportunities, we're taking them. Nikki's a fake, and Bree's a quitter like her husband. Sometimes a good girl's gotta get bad to get something from nothing. And we're taking the Divas division over. I, for one, welcome our new Diva overlords. Said it before, I'll say it again. Fuck the Bellas. New Day comes out as Woods says Tyson and Cesaro are cheaters! Which, of course, is the pot calling the kettle black. Woods continues, says, due to our kindness, we're giving them a second chance. And Big E says, Tyson and Cesaro, they're bad people. They don't recycle. They double dip. I hate when motherfuckers do that. And when they go to the movie theaters, they buy one ticket and sit for two. Kofi's like, you don't have to be like them. You can choose to be like us. We're the change you need to see. So we had Raw, Cesaro and Big E. Now on SmackDown we get the other two, Kid and Kofi. We got more speed and high offense. Kid catches the Trouble in Paradise. Like he turns it immediately into a sharpshooter, forcing Kofi to tap. As Natty and Cesaro, take out the others before they can interfere. Do you believe? Wow, I actually did that perfectly. This past week on Raw may have been the last time we see our beloved Daniel Bryan. I guess life isn't always simply yes or no. But Albert Einstein once said, in the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. And my opportunity to be there for all of you. There are 5 stages of grief which I can help you through. Denial. There's no denying that Daniel Bryan let you all down. Anger. Anger's healthy, especially directing it towards Daniel Bryan for letting you down. Bargaining. Those t-shirts of Daniel Bryan are going to be a real bargain since he's gone now. Depression. What Daniel's feeling right now after letting you all down. And finally, acceptance. Accepting that you and everyone else will forget about him and believe! Wow, I'm doing... that was a little too much even for me. I don't know, it just like he gets like falsetto at the end. He's like, ah! He's like, believe in me! Yeah. Oh, I'm making it worse. He loses to Neville as King Barrett on commentary post-match gets up and yells at him, says, how dare you consider yourself a challenge to me? I don't have time to deal with a frivolous peasant with a stupid outfit on. Still wearing the cap and crown as he says this, by the way, so. Again, more hypocrisy in action. Oh, that's the easiest thing. I love it. Rosa Mendez backstage with Adam Rose as his hot dog called Carl. You're on? Yeah, no. He's like, well, when are we getting paid? We've been like your rosebuds. And Adam Rose just fucking like shoves him down and says, the party's over. And Kane walks through that and just like wondering what the fuck's going on. He again has to face Roman Reigns, only this time the stip is there must be a winner. Yeah, like on Raw, this match just never even got started, so they're finally going to get this. So, of course, Roman Reigns wins this. Renee backstage with Seth about the match before he and his security get jumped by Ambrose and Reigns, who the latter runs back and comes to his aid when it's 3-on-1. Ambrose and Reigns stare each other down, look at the belt. Ambrose picks the title up, puts it on Roman's shoulders, says, don't worry, I'll take it Sunday. And now for Payperback. Pay-per-view, yeah. Maybe that's what he was trying to figure out. The meta powers, as I think Raven Siarm is the one who came up with that. Curtis Axel actually does have the Hogan handlebar mustache. Looking awesome. And and they lose to the Ascension. Yeah. All that to just to job to the fucking Ascension. Thank God I don't have the network yet. I would have been like crushed to see this. Like, wow. Way to pretty much bury those two under the fucking earth by losing the Ascension. Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler won again in the same match they had before at the pay-per-view. At Extreme Rules, only when at the whole arse-kissing thing. So there's really not that much escalation from the last pay-per-view. Still, my comments on Twitter about Sheamus looking like a boss you approach horizontally or at an angle in a beat-em-up must have reached Dolph Ziggler, because he's out there with a denim vest and a pink straight bandana over his forehead. Like, just, yeah, it's a Dolph Ziggler version of Billy Lee and Axel from Streets of Rage, you know. So he's prepared, if nothing else. Ziggler at some point gets dropped on his knee on the outside during this match, giving Sheamus something to target and wear on. Ziggler gets plenty of comeuppance as Sheamus starts to favor his shoulder a bit after ramming it into the ring post after Ziggler dodges Sheamus. Even more so after Sheamus is forced to pucker up while grounded into the corner. You know, we finally get that. Raven Scion on Twitter once again hit it out of the park. Referred to it as the Zig face. Ziggler with a close pinfall off a zigzag. Like, super close. Boots him in the corner, gets power bombed, and at some point Ziggler either gets I think he gets busted open. Like, Sheamus punches him twice, but I think Ziggler trying to go for the headbutt, do a Ziggler headbutt Sheamus, and he busts himself open, but it ends up costing him. Like, he tries to break through his Cloverleaf submission or whatever and headbutts Sheamus, and it ends up like costing him because he gets all groggy after that, and Sheamus just rocks up, bro kicks him, and wins. So again, just like Daniel Bryan, it doesn't work out for him. Like, stop doing it. It's not, you keep losing because of it. Or at least maybe like develop a harder head. Like, he had to get stitches off that one. I seen that on the Twitter, WWE's Twitter. Like, I look brutal. Like, he was Ric Flair bloody almost, like free flowing, man. It was bad. Christ. Like, I don't know how he did that. Like, the punches either started it up and hit it hard enough to just gash himself. Fuck. The most extreme moment was on the pay-per-view after Extreme Rules, so. Wow. Yeah, oh man. Seth calls for Kane to try and get them to coexist, and Kane's just missing that. Said, you know, you've been a pain in the ass for months, and while I enjoy having this job, I don't need it. All these months making these matches as the director of operations for you was to teach you and motivate you, but you're too young and arrogant to understand that, so maybe losing that title as I stand there and watch you burn is going to be the greatest lesson I can teach you. And Seth threatens Kane by saying, you know, you do anything tonight that's unbeneficial to me, getting future endeavor is going to be the least of your worries. It's J&J Security getting his face, and Kane's just laughing them off. The 2 out of 3 falls match of the tag titles are next. New Day? Woods says, can you feel it? The power of positivity. You can do anything if you embrace that. Kofi says, power of positivity, hashtag POP, holding it down. Big E says, are you tired of being fat, unattractive, and friendless? Think positive. Aren't you disgusted that the Baltimore Orioles hasn't won a World Series in 32 years? Think positive. Insulting local sports teams. The bread and butter of Annie Hill promo, or hashtag BNB. Oh shit, that one's bread and butter. I want to say BNB, but that one's taken. His name's King Barrett now, so I guess it's fine. Yeah, I can use that now. You know, hashtag BNB bread and butter. It's all local sports teams, yeah. Kid's got a hat on as he's coming out, and Cesaro's towel masks his entire face. Is he the Swiss Sheik now? Well, Cesaro does spend the start of this match out walking all over Kofi and Big E, stalling suplexing their asses and making them hambo. very quickly with the tag team offense on this one. I love this match. Amazing stuff from both these guys. I really love the New Day to like turn it around. Like everybody like on Twitter, so like they took something from nothing and they did it. That's like, yeah, that's awesome. It's tremendous. Like even people like were like, even if you thought like New Day sucked beforehand, like the people out there were still kind of giving them like some applause. Like they were like, okay, we like these guys. They're doing something with them that is entertaining. You know, they really quickly pick up that first fall. Cesaro and Kid, they get that spin and finish into the whatchamacallit. And Xavier Woods is screaming to the ref, "Freebird rules!" He's trying to get in the match. Like Natalya jumps him, and Cesaro gets on him as well. Kid leaps on Big E to the outside, but gets caught and rammed into that side barrier. And so, which leaves the New Day to get that tandem tag offense. Kofi and Big E just laying it on Kid as Cesaro tries to come in. As Big E spears the shit out of Cesaro, drives him to the barricade as well. Big E's just killing everybody, man. Damn. So Kid's got nobody to tag in now. He does valiantly on his own, but the numbers game does catch up to him as New Day gets fall number 2. Cesaro finally does get back into position with that hot tag to batter Kofi. Another tandem move with him and Kid and gets a 2 count. The match ends when Xavier Woods gets in the ring and rolls up Cesaro for the 3rd fall. So apparently Cole's not the only one who mistook Kofi for Xavier Woods, because the referee they get the 3rd fall. So Cesaro and Kid defeated by Freebird rules in Baltimore. Not telling black people apart. Ryback backstage with Byron Sexton saying, I don't know what to expect from Bray Wyatt tonight. He wants me to believe my message, start full, leave empty, is meaningless. Tonight the Eater of Worlds gets eaten. Both these guys have connections with the people, but it's a little hard for me to get invested when both these guys aren't being used as well as they should. Hopefully that changes at the end of this match. I'll explain. You know, we got 2 strong guys, so these guys do get creative. You know, it was a good match. I liked it. And I came back to Bray Wyatt with some back to belly senton from the apron on the outside to Ryback, which was enough to break one of his ribs. Lucha Bray! What's Spanish for chut? Ryback gets some high flying of his own as well, but the match ends surprisingly quickly though, as Bray rams Ryback into an exposed turnbuckle as Bray hits Sister Abigail for the win. This Ryback being injured thing, or like if they keep him off TV for a while with the rib thing, like if he's hurt of the, like keep him off TV, this could be the thing that helps save Bray Wyatt, because right now he's just like, yeah, he cuts cool promos, but they're starting to get like, even people who like Bray Wyatt are just starting to like, yeah, he's getting a little long-winded and rambly. Like he's got nothing else for him, honestly. You know, a win like this, like something decisive like this, like you beat him clean, which is the first time I've seen Bray Wyatt actually beat anybody clean in a long time. I don't think it's probably the first time he's beating somebody on a pay-per-view, like cleanly beat this guy. Like, and if Ryback can, they keep him off TV for a couple weeks to rehab the rib or whatever happened to him, like look into that a little more extensively. Like this could be the thing that helps save this guy. Like, so it was an alright match, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens afterward. Like something could come from nothing here, and they could kind of salvage Bray Wyatt here. 5 letters that define their characters. For Rusev, it's crush. For Cena, it's shill. I mean, heart. Heart is what they said. Rusev Cena 3, I quit rules for the US title. Rusev already pissed at the Lana chant, screaming, half these people hate you already, John. Swallow your pride and quit. When asked by the ref, Cena just rushes at him. Just, crowd chants, we want Lana. I'm like, she's right fucking there. Rusev with the upper hand grabs a chair, tells Lana, sit the fuck down. And of course this gives Cena the quick upper hand. Rusev does bounce back and batter Cena some more. Big time drop kick. You know, I like the suplex, but my second favorite would be a nice standing drop kick. He's looked amazing. Again, it continues to admonish Lana for all the chance she's been getting. It tells her to, get my Russian flag, and starts waving that shit around in the middle of the ring. He hasn't won the match yet. He's still giving Cena all the time he needs to beat him. So Cena rallies, does his 5 moves until Rusev catches him and drops him on the outside. No quitting yet. Rams him into the steel steps. Doesn't quit. Brings the steps into the ring corner and Irish whips him into them repeatedly. Doesn't quit on repeatedly. Tries to powerbomb him on top of the steps now. Gets reversed and dropped on the back. Rusev again catches Cena, tries to drop him on the stairs. Goes to stomp Cena, but Cena gets up and AAs Rusev onto the steel steps. And then we get the first time that Rusev gets asked if he wants to quit. Rolls to the outside for that spot where Cena picks up the ring steps and throws it out into the ring as his opponent runs the fuck out of the way. Before he gets fucking shit. Hopefully they rehearse the fuck out of that. It's gotta be one of them dangerous spots. I guess they're heavy enough that they can't bounce around and hit somebody else like one of the audience people. I don't know. So I guess that's why that works. Cena warns Rusev, I'm gonna ram you through this fucking barricade. I'm gonna do the 2K13 or whatever year it is, the OMG spot. And Rusev doesn't quit because that's what we get. Cena then goes to the side and wheels one of them equipment cases and gets super kicked by Rusev for his trouble. No sell from a table when Cena gets driven through to it. So it transitions into a reversal AA that Rusev fights out of. Just no sells it. Just reversal AA. So Rusev fights out of that. Cena starts pelting Rusev with shit now. Rusev finally gets Cena through a table, this time with success. And maybe going for that Randy Orton-Cena I Quit match where Orton tries to blow Cena up with pyrotechnics. He hits a button and gets pyrotechnic off or something like that, and he's like, alright. Instead, they fight their way to the entranceway, the front entrance, and Rusev gets AA'd into the pyrotechnics, so there's just, explosions everywhere, and Rusev just comes out of the side, flailing the fuck about as Lana, super weird, starts running to his side. Cena goes for he's got a steel barricade now, as Rusev's just crawling to safety, and ref is like, shit, I better ask him again before he hits him with this thing. Rusev's like, no. So boom! Cena hits him with the steel barricade, doesn't quit. Rusev about to get AA'd, and again, reverses and suplex to Cena onto the steel steps again, on the steel barricade as it bends. It doesn't break, but it just gives it, Cena's weight and all that just gives away. And it's just and Cena's response is hell no. And then quitting. Accolade on Cena, who tries to fight it out, and it's still clamped on as Cena actually fades to unconsciousness. He's actually knocked out, and Rusev's like, yay! He's like, I don't know if he thinks he's won, but he's feeling celebratory, and ref is like, you didn't say it. He didn't win. You didn't win! So, another turnbuckle spot from the last match, only this time Rusev goes further and just unscrews that top rope and whatever else holds the turnbuckle to the ring post. That whole top rope just comes down on the side. And Rusev gets a bottle of water to drop it on throw the contents on the Cena to revive him. Does that thing he's waiting for Cena to get up. He's clutching that top rope he's gonna fucking choke the shit out of him like that chain match that he had, which actually never came up during the fucking match. He did that on a Smackdown, so. Cena counters that into his STF with the ring rope, in hand. So now Cena's choking Rusev out with the ring rope. So it's kind of MAGA thing all over again. And Lana quits for Rusev, and Cena wins, which I call bullshit on. Because if Melina can't do that for Mick Foley when Ric Flair was fucking battering the shit out of him, Lana can't do it for Rusev. So I'm calling bullshit on this one. Cena wins, lol. The New Day celebrating with champagne glasses of milk. Glasses of milk! Glasses of milk! Byron Saxton informs them about them competing in a tag team style elimination chamber match. Don't know how that's going to work out, but for that next exclusive pay-per-view. Once again, I'm quite skeptical because the whole running thing with big streams like that with a lot of people, there's a lot of lag and cutouts like that. Although, to be fair, Not once have I ever heard on Twitter someone say, man, fuck NXT! So, it's $9.99 a month. I guess I have to, don't I? Alright. You know, this 5 hours of Raw and Smackdown are usually my limit. 8 or 9 counting pay-per-views. And that's me sometimes, if I'm that bored, I'll go on, like, Impact Wrestling's YouTube and say, what are they doing? What did they do this week? What things I might have thought were kind of cool, and I'm giving a shit about this. They used to be cool, man. The Twins versus the extended Samoan family tree of Namoa and Tomoe. Naomi wins for her team. She's still coming out with She still has like the light bright shoes or whatever. She doesn't have the Nope shirt. I guess that's like her apparel when she's like not wrestling. Because that was the match where Tamina was just like one-on-one with Brie. Rusev understandably pissed off after totally not quitting his match. Or, I would assume, he was like screaming and rushing along. He was like, and then she's like, he quits. And so he's like, Lana, get the fuck out. Get out of my locker room. The rivalry between King Bara and Neville continues. Neville early on with his high flying as Barrett attempts to regroup. Barrett boots him out of most of all the stuff that Neville's throwing out there. I noticed, weirdly enough, Barrett has this the name of his finisher on his tights. Like Garner has like there's a ring around. He has like Bullhammer around his tights. That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it? Like it'd be like if Goldberg had the word jackhammer on his tights. Actually, that might, considering no one kicks the fuck out of the jackhammer, that might actually work for him. So that might be a bad example. Like I was about to say, like you can't do that for certain guys. Like Brock Lesnar F5, I was like, yeah, put that on just put a big F5 on his ass. Just the letters F5 and a dumb sword tattoo. It's just weird, But like I said, some people can pull it off, some can't. I don't think Barrett's earned that yet, even though he is King of the Ring. That's like, Again, I don't know that much. I didn't have the network at the time, so I didn't see it all. So I don't know how Barrett stacks up against the rest of the other kings that we've had throughout the WWE's existence. Neville about to go high as Barrett loads up the hammer, and instead he catches Barrett's arm on the way down as it leaps off, almost gets a 3 in a roll-up, flies to the outside as Barrett escapes the red arrow. Neville tweaks his knee a bit on that landing, like he's just favoring the knee a little bit. Like he gets back into the ring as Barrett doesn't. Yeah, Neville wins via countout, and as he turns around and does the celebratory thing, Barrett immediately jumps him. He goes to crown Neville with the scepter. See what I did there? Dead suplex! And red arrowed as a battered Neville gets the final say on this one. Lance Storm on Twitter said maybe this guy should be called the man that gravity neglects. Like, it doesn't outright ignore him, but doesn't give him full attention. Yeah. The man that gravity doesn't have to like him or anything, Baka. That's too long. Gravity's just super tsundere. I fucking love the idea that Gravity's just a fucking tsundere bitch to this guy, because he's like, I don't want to remember you. Shut up. Your ears or accent are stupid, and I hate it. Yeah. Just need to see Gravity on Butt Lover's Twitter or something. Doubles! Alright, main event time. The Shield triple threat plus Orton and Corporate Kane on the outside. Wondering if they'll still have a job tomorrow or not. JJ Security, this starts off with like yanking Ambrose and Reigns to the outside as Rollins goes after Orton while he's looking over there. He's like, what the fuck's going on? And Rollins just immediately jumps on Orton from behind. Ambrose over the top rope, then Reigns as well after fighting off Security. Reigns and Ambrose double teaming Rollins till Kane yanks Reigns out and boots on him. Then Ambrose gets at him as Kane boots him down as well. Like, Kane's just going through everybody. It's early on in this match. Which leaves Rollins and Ambrose for a time in this matchup. Like, it's back between those two for a while. Because that's usually how these things go. You only get, like, one person during the thing. It's not like... Ugh. That's the weird thing about Fatal 4 is it's not like two guys versus two guys. You know, you gotta... Well, then again, you only have, like, the one pin to worry about. So maybe there's a reason for that, but it still seems kind of... unnatural in that way. Like, it's one-on-one as two guys just stay in and just like don't do anything. It's not like the Rumble where everybody's just fighting everybody. This has always been weird to me. That's all. Ambrose fights off security but gets chokeslammed. Orton rocks back in and cleans house. Rollins' savviness of dodging Orton's off the rope power slam as he hangs on the ropes. Like, he does that spin around, just throw just like a 180 almost. The crowd and myself lose our collective shits as the Shield for a short time reunites to powerbomb the bejesus out of Orton through that table. Crowd would ape shit on this one. I was like, dude. Like, moments after that, Rollins put his fist out. He's like, yay, we're back! And the Shield and Ambrose and Reigns just like looking over since it's like, really? And Seth's just like, uh-oh. Just that brief moment. Like, never forget. But yeah, the Ambrose and Reigns just immediately start jumping Seth. They, the two of them just power bomb an interfering Kane. They do it to Rollins, and then they do it to an interfering Kane onto Rollins, who's still on the table. And crowds chant like, well, one more time after that. The crowd's like, one more time! And they do it, and the table finally breaks after that. I forgot it was like 3 times. Yeah, so they get like Seth, and then Kane, and the table's still up there. So it's like, one more time. And the crowd's like, one more time. And then they finally get their third time's the charm. A lot of tables not being broken in this match. Don't want to abuse the Gregorian laugh. I already did that once. It's overstay its welcome. So Reigns and Ambrose are just left to fight it out for a while. They just look over each other and it's like, well, ain't nothing else to do. Ambrose is like, you know, loser buys the beers, right? Ain't much else we can do now. Let's go. And Reigns is like a fraction away from winning the title again as Rollins stops it once more. Like, rehash that. I like that's good. I like that. Ambrose gets that same moment again before Kane saves the day. Hits both Shield members, well, ex-Shield members, I should say, because it's not really sense. But yeah, it hits them both with the steel steps, and Orton out of nowhere runs Kane into the barricade. RKO's an interfering J&J security. Power slams Rollins, who dives at him. Nixon gets that one. Gets that DDT on the ropes. The RKO was blocked. However, as Rollins, he pushes Orton into Kane, and Reigns just, out of instinct, just RKO's him. And then Seth kicks him, hits Orton with the pedigree, Triple H's move, to retain. Yeah, overall, I said it on Twitter, but Payback seemed to be like that old saying where it's about the journey being more important than the destination, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the finish were like really screwy and like questionable at best. It was like, really? That's how your match is ending? Like, oh, I saw a lot of that in this match. It seemed like that was like the running theme for Payback for this one. Like, the matches were great, what we saw was awesome, but then they get to the finish and it's like, huh? So, but yeah, that's the podcast. Again, done 10 of these. I'd probably do a lot more of these in the meantime, for better or worse. If I don't do the wrestling thing, I'll run out of shit to talk about. So I guess I'm paying $9.99 for the network. So once again, for better or worse. So I did talk to Casey. He said we were gonna do it like next week, which was like this Sunday or Saturday, however he does it. He does it on Sundays, so they do it. So, and yeah, we're on like, holy shit, how did I end up on? It was never on my bucket list to be on iTunes or SoundCloud, but holy shit, like, me talking about wrestling, like, that's on, like, shit, like, a fuck ton of people use. Well, I'm already on YouTube, but I'm, like, just, like, a lot of people use YouTube, but I'm just, like, branching out on all these social media sites and everything. I'm just, like, I'm everywhere. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. All right, that's the podcast. Thank you for listening, watching, whatever. Take care. Bye.